Last week, a Catholic periodical published a story alleging that my next guest was removed from leadership at the Vatican's doctrinal office due to what they called significant financial improprieties, suggesting that he himself may have been guilty of financial malfeasance. It has been nearly 9 years since Cardinal Gerhard Müller left that post. Here to respond to this story and the allegations made is theologian and former head of the Vatican's doctrinal office, Cardinal Gerhard Müller. Your Eminence, thank you for being here. First of all, what was your reaction when you saw this July 31st report by the Pillar? What do you make of the timing? Why do you think it's being released now?
At first, it's more a Hollywood comedy, because all this story is 9 years ago, and all was clarified with Cardinal Pell, and there was no accusation against myself. And I came to Rome, and with the Pope Benedict, he asked me to lead the congregation because as an expert of theology and nothing to do with finance, I didn't come to Rome to make money as a German bishop and as a priest. We have our livelihood, and the rest of our money for giving, making charity, and not making money to become a rich man.
Your Eminence, the authors of this Pillar article, and there is no byline, so we don't know who actually wrote it, suggest your departure from the doctrinal office at the Vatican, the CDF, was related to financial inconsistencies while you led that office, which led to Cardinal Pell investigating the matter. What did they discover? The Pillar alleges that there were bags of cash all over the congregation. Did you see that?
There was cash in the hands of our administrator, like I said, but was not taken money away from the congregation in private pockets, and that is a point. And they cannot give no proof that was any disappearing of money. On the contrary, I had some sponsors who made a very long table with 30 seats and chairs for our great meetings, and therefore what I could do, I helped for the congregation, and nobody, at least not the prefect, took away one penny, and this was, everybody was absolutely gratified with the Cardinal Pell. I had a very good relation. Mm-hmm. And the ending of my being there as prefect has nothing to do with these questions, and nobody, the Pope himself, didn't tell me what was the reason for the ending of this and nobody knows, and until now nobody knows, but he appointed me the member for the synod and other things. And the cardinal priest, as the deacon, were promoted from him to cardinal priest. They have no arguments against my theology, and therefore they want to disavow or make defamation of my person.
The Pillar article also alleges, Your Eminence, that a large sum of money, 200,000 euros, was moved to what the article describes as your personal account from the main CDF account prior to the Vatican's financial investigation. Your Eminence, what actually transpired with this alleged transaction? Was your personal account or your CDF account enriched?
It was not my personal account in the Vatican Bank, but there was an account for the mission and for some money the people gave to me for some question of mission and so. And in one way, our administrator moved the money there, but it was absolutely clear that it is the money of the congregation and not my personal money was on the responsibility of the prefect in my function as prefect and not in a private way.
It was really not your personal account. It was a CDF account.
Yeah, was account, and our administrator took this account, was a mission for money coming in, for helping, and he said we can take this account in the service of the congregation. It's all was documented. So this was no money for my private use. I don't need money for buying aftershave or anything or car, and so
Yeah,
was a little
that
strange.
would have bought you a lot of aftershave, Your Eminence, 200,000 euros. But look,
Yes.
I want to clarify this. The Pillar story also alleges, and it's really the heart of their article, that Pope Francis instructed you personally to repay hundreds of thousands of euros. Is that true? And was there any money missing from the CDF account at the time?
No money missing, and the Pope was not involved, and all was clarified with the Cardinal Pell.
So he did not instruct you to return any monies?
No way.
Your Eminence, you've been very vocal and forthright in defending Catholic traditional teachings throughout Pope Francis's pontificate. Do you feel that this financial story is a latter-day justification for your being the decision to remove you from your duties at the CDF? Are there individuals trying to cover their tracks, if you will, and make this the reason that you were dismissed?
Yes, I won't find a reason, because this was not explainable, and nobody understand it. Why? At least Pope Benedict, he asked me to come to Rome, and after 5 years this was stopped, and he himself didn't understand why. Nobody did understand why. And therefore some people are looking for some reasons, but the Pope never make a declaration or explanation why he acted so. But what's not the only prefect or high official of the Holy See, who was the Roman Curia, who was removed and stopped and finished, and a lot of other cardinals in these days. They said only 5 years you should be there, but other people, they will remain until 80 years, and other people are removed after 5 years. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, I remember at the time you told me the Pope gave you no reason for the removal. He didn't furnish you with a reason. And I need to get into this. The Pillar also seems to suggest that you only became a critic of some of the views espoused and promoted by Pope Francis after your departure from the CDF, after these financial irregularities allegedly were discovered. But in fact, you raised objection to several initiatives at the Synod on the Family before your departure in 2017, correct?
I never criticized the popes personally, but when I was asked for the Catholic doctrine, I gave the explanation. That was my mission, to explain, and the prefect and me as the theologian, long time professor of theology, I can explain the Catholic faith, and I'm not only the voice of the superior. I am responsible, and every bishop is responsible in his conscience to give and to explain the right and orthodox Catholic doctrine. Our first interview was about the dismissing of 3 very excellent officials some years ago.
Yes.
I didn't criticize the decision of the Pope to dismiss them, but when there came out some arguments that these people had done anything wrong, I had the responsibility to say and to save their good name, and I had to say they didn't do anything wrong, and they was qualified. And I remain in this position until today. They was very qualified, and I don't know the reason why they were dismissed, but there was, according to my judgment, they didn't nothing wrong.
Your Eminence, do you feel that this entire episode and this dredging up of allegations from 9 years ago that seem to have already been settled, is this done with intent?
Yeah, surely it was a certain intention because 9 years before was all these things was also in the press, but was internal procedures, and nobody were allowed to give it to publicly to the press and to the media. And now, after 9 years, they are redoing it, repeating this strategy of defamation. Is only defamation strategies, no new information, nothing changed in the facts of 9 years ago. And the only reason is make defamation.
Okay, but my question is why now? If nothing illegal occurred at the CDF, if no funds were found to be missing, why do you think the pillar chose to run this story now, 2 months before the start of the synod on synodality?
Synod of beginning in 2 months surely has anything to do with it. And I made one day, I think before this was coming out, this article, or some days before, I made a very strong statement against the blasphemy in Paris in the Olympic Games, and could be a revenge in this way. I don't know who is behind it, because this was an anonymous strategy, and I asked me if these people have nothing to do in their working time to arrange strategies of defamation instead of doing their work for the church.
But look, I knew Cardinal Pell very well, and I knew him enough that he would not be fraternizing with people who had engaged in financial impropriety. And I know you and Cardinal Pell were very close. So I've also done some calls since I saw this story break, and it seems some of these stories are being embellished a bit, and that a lot of the loose finances were in place long before you arrived at the CDF. But the point is, there was no missing money. Nothing was taken. And that is the heart of this, and made my hackles go up when I first read it. I'll give you the final word.
Other things, protecting the faith and promoting the faith. And I was not an official in the Vatican Bank, but the prefect of the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, and that was the reason why I came to Rome, and why the Pope Benedict made me his successor.
Your Eminence, Cardinal Gerhard Müller, I thank you for your time, and we will be in touch.
Thank you very much.